Lightning is lightning.
Everything's
out there.
stormy in my world, brother.
Yeah, including your wife. That's okay. Yeah, my name is Chuck Burns, and this is the three guys who love sports. We're here to support guys that are going through mental issues and physical issues, specifically Steve Pearson, one of my good friends. Steve had some catheterization done today, and everything looks clean. He's good, so God bless you, Steve. Glad everything came out well. And we want to support everybody that's going through the mental and physical struggles of life. And if we can take your mind off of what you're going through an hour a week, and you help somebody and they help somebody, everybody does a little. Nobody has to do a lot.
And I like not having to do a lot.
There you go. Welcome, my co-host, Mr. Robert Kennedy. Robert, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How are
Good
you,
week
sir?
so far?
Look in that shirt.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Evan Ingram at his football camp on Sunday. It was a lot of fun.
Very nice, very nice.
Very hot, though, out there.
It's been brutal.
And, of course, Larry Lichtenstein, Larry, the engineer, and Adam is MIA today. But
Missing in Adam?
missing in Adam, yes. But the three of us are here, and we're ready to order us some great food at Miller's. I personally am getting Mimi's Fiesta Bowl.
But let's just let the audience know, because I know there's thousands of people out there watching at home, and they're thinking, Chuck, don't you always order that? But what did you do today?
I looked at the menu.
That is a big
I
step. That is a
almost
very
changed.
big step. So, you know.
Who knows? Next
baby
week,
steps. It's
football
baby steps.
coming up. I might have to go to some red meat or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Need some red meat. Football.
Larry, what'd you get?
I ordered the fajitas today.
The fajitas? Chicken, steak? What'd you get?
The fajitas.
Yeah, is it chicken or steak?
They only come in chicken
Thank
these
you, sir.
days.
Oh, they come in chicken. That's right. Yeah. How about you, Robert?
I actually went without knowing that. I went down to the bar, looked at everything, and I'm like, I'm going chicken fajitas.
Uh-oh. 2 chicken fajitas and a
Ba-bam.
Mimi's Fiesta Bowl.
But we'll know when that comes out, because Larry's going to have a pile of this and a pile of this and a pile of this, and then the 12-year-old's plate will show up that has fajitas, lettuce, cheese, and a big bottle of hot sauce. That's
And
it.
that'll be you.
Yeah, keep all that other stuff away from
All
me.
right, cool. All right. So before we get into our show, let's get out one of our commercials. Robert, if you would do Kennesaw Express Loop.
There are a lot of places to get your oil change in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, then stop in at Castro Kennesaw Express Lube or Lost Mountain Express Lube. We'll always do our best to get you in and out quickly, safely, and without a whole lot of fuss. We're a true owner-operated business where you'll find Brian under a car or a hood at one of the shops. We offer experienced, knowledgeable technicians and the latest computer software to help you maintain your new car warranty and keep your pride and joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer Castro products.
All right, Brian, thank you. Dude, you got some weird stuff going out there. Macaroni and cheese, peanut butter cups. Did you see that?
No, it was bologna
It was
Reese's.
bologna
Reese cups. See, this is the kind of stuff our sponsors post on Facebook. It's like, wouldn't this be cool? No, that would not be cool.
Bologna and chocolate do not seem like a good...
It was like layered, where you could see it's like 5 pieces of bologna thick. You know, boy, does
I
that
have to
sound
tell
good.
you. So Alan Adair has been on the show a few times.
Yes, sir.
And Alan's now walking with me on Wednesdays and Friday mornings.
Nice.
He's going to try my grape jelly and mustard sandwich.
I told somebody about that yesterday.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did, they just started shaking their head, and they were like, say it ain't so, Joe, and I'm like, I'd love to tell you that, but the man still eats it.
There you go. And speaking of weird things, hey, we want to welcome our new guest, Jake Schramm. Jake, how about a big applause for Jake? What's in that crowd, Jake?
Oh, sounds great. Happy to be here.
Happy to
Glad
have
to
you.
have you.
Jake's an Alabama alumnus, and saw him last night for the 4th or 5th time at a networking event. Had on a dog shirt. I said, dude, you're not wearing that on the show tomorrow.
I ran out of laundry.
Yeah, he ran out of laundry, had his brother's shirt on, so I can live with that.
Hey, anybody who doesn't take life so seriously that he can wear one shirt and go to the other, that is all good with me. It's all
neutral.
good with me.
I'm neutral. I mean, from Georgia, gotta support the dogs at some point
No,
too.
you don't.
No, I still have to.
No, I can't. It doesn't happen that way. All right, so we're going to get right into our sports conversations. As you know, for the last umpteen weeks, we've been doing the greatest athlete to ever wear a certain number, and we're all the way up to number 41. And I'm sure we're going to be taking a pause soon because we're going into the greatest season of all time, which is football season. But for now, we're at number 41. A lot of great opportunities out there, more than are on our list. We have Dirk Nowitzki. we have Wes Unseld, Tom Seaver, Tom Matty, who I'd forgotten all about, and Charlie Waters is a pretty good safety for the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely, and you left out one of the Braves' retired numbers, Eddie Matthews.
Eddie Matthews and Darrell Evans, too, as we talked about.
Yep. You know, I just want to give it up for Dirk for 1 second. Dirk is not my answer, but Dirk is an incredible basketball player who brought his European game over, kind of revolutionized the way
He was the one that started
correct
Euro basketball here.
Americans look at European basketball differently because Dirk proved it could work at that level. But listen to these nicknames. I just love his nicknames. Dirty. That's it. If you ever hear, hey, Dirty, that's him.
That's like the Dirty Birds.
The tall baller from the G, the German race car, or German Jesus. I love it. I love it.
Jesus is a good one. That's a good one.
I think I like Dirty best. I think that's my favorite.
Dirty.
That's
No
my
other
fantasy
words.
football
Just
team, Dirty Birds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. So, Dirk was a great thing. Tom Seaver, the amazing Mets of '69, right? He was the one that was there.
Tom Terrific.
Tom Terrific. There you go.
I was reading something just a couple days ago. They were talking about, do you know who originally drafted Tom Seaver?
No.
It was the Dodgers. And Tommy Lasorda was actually the scout who found Tom Seaver. And he... Tom Seaver said, I want $50,000 signing bonus. Whoa, you aren't getting, how about I give you 20? And he said, there's no way I'm signing for 20. So the Dodgers let him go, and that's how he ended up a Met.
Wow.
So, you know.
How about if somebody asked for a $50,000 signing bonus today? How quick can you write that down?
I think Larry Lichtenstein might get a $50,000 signing bonus from the Yankees.
Well, that means I'm good for $49,000. I'll take it.
There you go. There you go. I'll take my 47.5. I'm all right with it.
That's cool. Yeah. And Tom Matty, I'd forgotten all about Tom Matty, but a great fullback of the original Baltimore Colts when Johnny U was a quarterback.
Correct. I'm not sure, but I believe one of those old highlights is Matty leading into the hole. It's that old NFL championship game, whether the 58 or 59, where, you know, he blows open the hole.
And I think, if I remember correctly, and this just now came to mind, didn't he have to wind up playing quarterback one game?
Well, he might have.
Because Unitas was hurt and Earl Morrow was hurt. And I think Matty had to play quarterback. Is that right, Larry? Do you remember that?
Larry was in Liechtenstein that month.
I vaguely remember it, but I don't.
Yeah, one of the Colts running backs had to step in and play quarterback, and I think it was Tom Matty.
But you know,
Can you see a fullback playing quarterback?
Well, I was going to say, I don't mean to undermine what he did, because obviously he got the nod because he was a good enough athlete. His coach had confidence in him. But playing quarterback on a team where you're going to rush 80% of the time is not exactly, you know, nowadays it'd be like, okay, we ain't got nothing.
Yeah, we might as well forfeit, right?
Correct.
Yeah. But so that's pretty crazy. And then who was the last one? Oh, Charlie Waters. Like I said, great. He had a couple of Super Bowls under Johnson, I guess, Jimmy Johnson, or was it? No, it was probably before that. He was probably under Tom Landry, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So that's back when I liked the Cowboys. Bob Hayes and Roger Staubach. And
That was never a time in my life
that you like the Cowboys.
I like the Cowboys.
I love the Cowboys.
My favorite football team has, generally speaking, always been whoever's playing the Cowboys. I'm a Bills fan and a Falcons fan, and the Browns are probably third. So as you can see, my teams don't do extremely well. So I might as well root against what I dislike the most.
Well, it
is pouring out there.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, when they
were you talking about Dirk when you said Jesus?
Yeah. When they canned
Jesus.
when they canned Tom Landry, I was done with the Cowboys. I said I'd never pull for him again, and now I'm in the same boat as you. My favorite team are the Falcons, Packers, and then anybody that plays the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So explains my hatred for Dak and anybody else wearing the star. But yeah, you know, now that we know. And now that I remember Eddie Matthews, I'm probably going to have to go with Eddie Matthews. It's my favorite 41, just because he was a Brave, and he was a great Brave.
He was.
And Dirk was a fabulous basketball player. Like you said, he was the innovator of the European game, and did a lot. He played for the Mavericks, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. He's the reason why Luka doesn't play in Atlanta. One of the reasons,
Yeah.
Mark Cuban was like, I want the guy who my whole city is already looking to back.
Great fit already.
You bring him over and you drop, Luka in the middle, and all those Dallas fans are like, yeah, I can root for that guy.
That's
Does
cool.
he speak my language? No, it's okay.
You
All
can
right,
play
Jake.
basketball though.
Who you got as your 41?
I've got to go Dirk. I had a college roommate. He was a Cowboys fan, so I hated him to begin with. And then he was a a Dallas
Something
Mavericks
we all
fan.
have in common.
And he had a Dirk jersey, and so I would always see Dirk all the time. And Dirk's an awesome player. I'd have to go Dirk.
I
The
can
German
understand.
Jesus. What was it? German Jesus.
German Jesus.
I'm gonna go German
The
Jesus.
dirty German
The
Jesus.
dirty
I like it.
German Jesus.
And I gotta go Tom Terrific. Tom, when you look at the stats, I looked at him closely. Eddie Matthews led the National League in home runs on 2 different occasions. He hit over 500, even though he had to get the last 18 when he wasn't a Brave. When you look at what Tom did, I mean, he came to the Mets. They were horrible. Within 2 years, they were World Series champions. And then you thought it couldn't get any better. And then he changed teams. And where'd he go? Big Red Machine. Started dominating for them. He was unbelievable. Won 3 Cy Youngs. Highest before Mariano Rivera, he had the highest percentage of votes for Cooperstown.
Oh, wow.
Which is a big crap thing anyway. It's like, well, I'm not going to vote for that guy. Sports writers
Yeah.
being
Who they are,
goofy.
like a Bonds or a
Yeah.
Sosa or whatever, yeah.
Well, no, those guys aren't getting voted in. But, somebody who you love anyway, Cal Ripken.
Yeah.
You would think Cal Ripken would be unanimous. People won't vote because, well, I don't want them to have too high of a percentage.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right, so we got a Dirk, a Matthews,
And a Tom Terrific.
and a Tom Terrific. That's all right.
Covers
so-
all the bases.
Yeah. All
Well,
sports.
at least the pitcher's mound.
Well, there you go. I'll throw to you and Dirk. I don't know what Dirk will do. He'll do
Dirk will
something.
stand in front of the plate and block the pitch. There you go.
He could do that.
All right.
He
Well,
could do that.
let's go ahead and get our second commercial in with a guy that, I don't know if you know this, but Josh was going to be on the 7 o'clock show tonight.
I
For
did.
the Owl Show.
Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law, while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile, and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding the NIL and cash payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about NIL tonight and a little bit on our show here at 5 o'clock today. But, Adam, I've got your gift card, so get back. Stop being sick. Looking forward to our 7 o'clock show tonight, the Owls Who Live Sports, all about KSU sports. If you haven't been out to a show, you need to come. It's a great time. Got a pretty good crowd for the 7 o'clock show, and we will have fun again tonight. Speaking of that, coming up on August the 14th is our 100th KSU show. Can you believe that?
It's crazy because I
100 shows.
I remember we had Carrick on the very first show, or the first time he came on, and he's taking selfies while he's on the show, and then he's like, "You guys need to do this show more for more things." Oh, sure.
And there you go.
There we were.
So, yeah, I don't guess we can count the ones we did at Red Hair as a show because that wasn't KSU. KSU's only been here. That's right. Yeah. Started here on August 17th of 22.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So looking forward to that. Move on to our next topic. And we can't play the music, so we have to do it ourselves. Are you ready?
Bum bum ba bum 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 bum.
It's Olympic time. So.
Wow, we did that really good considering we haven't practiced.
That was impressive.
I'm just
that was
saying.
very impressive.
There was only one part where Chuck did a couple other bum bum bums, and I did not. But I think you were right, just for the record.
It happens once in a blue moon. All right. So today our topic is the greatest Olympic athletes. Of course, Jake, you haven't been on with us before. Do you have you're a young guy. How old are you, 26?
22.
22? Do you have any favorite Olympic memories? Or
I think I've only seen like 2 that I can remember. So
2 memories or 2 Olympics?
I think
All
2
the above.
Olympics.
All the above.
Same thing. So I mean, one thing that comes to mind is like Michael Phelps. You know,
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Won a lot of gold medals swimming. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Watching Michael, there's different swimmers, and I know there's a swimmer out there right now who does this chest thing, and when he slaps himself in the chest, you can hear it on the camera, and I heard another swimmer say, you're in for it when you hear the and watch when Phelps would get up there with those long arms and start doing his thing,
Shaking his arm
you knew it was
loose.
on.
He was
You knew it was
dominant
on.
too. He was so dominant.
Now,
So good.
The one that does this is not Katie Ledecky.
It's not Katie
I don't
Ledecky.
want to see Katie Ledecky beating herself like that. She's a pretty good athlete. So when I went back and did a little research, I found a list, and I can't remember the writer's name that gave the list, but his 10 greatest athletes. And let's see if you agree with them, Robert, and
No.
you too, Jake. Number 10, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Does she belong in the top 10?
She's great. 84, 82, 84, 88, and possibly 92. She was dominating.
How about FloJo?
Man, I take my women like FloJo. It's crazy. It's crazy. 100 years from now, people might not remember the Olympian, but they'll still remember Baby's Got Back. I take my women like FloJo.
Yeah.
They'll still get that one. She's an incredible athlete. Definitely deserves to be on the list.
How about Paavo Nurmi? Do you know who he is?
Paavo Nurmi. Yeah.
Long distance runner, middle distance runner.
Yeah. He is. He kind of revolutionized the sport.
Yep. He had number 6 is Mark Spitz.
72 Olympics in Munich, dominating. I think
7 medals, right?
7 golds. 7
Yeah.
golds in Germany in 72. And, just one of those things where, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
He was.
I think if they could come up with more competitions or somehow
was
spread them
7
out a little
golds?
bit.
7 golds?
7 golds in
Oh, my
swimming in
God.
one Olympics. And like I said, had they been able to space things out, and I'm not super swimming guy, I think the guy would have won a couple more.
Yeah.
'Cause he dominated everything.
Number 6, Usain Bolt.
Oh, I know that one.
Atta boy.
It's hard to argue Bolt.
Yeah.
I mean,
At
Bolt.
least in the top 10.
Well, I mean, he was fast and he was colorful.
He was very colorful.
That whole, you still see people doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I occasionally will do it. I don't even know why I do it. I'm like, I'm not that cool, but I'd like to be.
Yeah. Number 5, Carl Lewis.
He's on my top 3, 84 and 88 Olympics. That 84 Olympics, just mind-boggling. When you watch somebody who's so good at things, like decathlon per se, you're going to do multiple sports. That's not what Carl Lewis did. He was doing all the individual sports, but he was doing the long jump, the 100, the 200, the 400. He was doing all of the different things he could possibly get into and dominating all of them like nobody's business.
Absolutely. Michael Phelps.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
What number is he?
Number 4.
4? There it is. That's my guy.
This is just somebody's list. This isn't.
Yeah, on your list, he's a little higher.
Yeah, he's a little higher.
You can't.
He's one and only one.
I believe his legacy spanned 3 Olympics.
3 Olympics. That's right.
So, to dominate the world
Oh, yeah.
over an 8-year period is just
So
mind-boggling.
impressive.
And here's one I know that Jake doesn't know. Teofilo Stevenson.
Nope. I don't know who that is.
Boxer.
Oh, Cuban?
Yep.
Those dang old Cubans, man. Olympic boxing is scored differently. They have white tips on the end of their gloves,
And you get points for when that white tips hit.
And some of those, especially little Cuban guys over the last 40 years, they come in there and just rabbit punch.
Oh, wow.
Mind-boggling how fast somebody can throw a punch.
I think he won 3 medals, if I remember right.
Possibly
that
so.
Sounds about right.
And in fairness to a lot of people, the reason why he won is because he was Cuban. And now that sounds, there's a few people rolling over out there, but the reason being is that when Sugar Ray won the gold, he went pro. When Muhammad Ali won the gold, he went pro. When you're Cuban and you win the gold,
You ain't going pro.
You're not leaving the country and you're playing in the next Olympics. So,
Yeah.
that's what he did.
Yeah, that's awesome. Number 2, Nadia Comaneci.
The first perfect score.
Yeah.
1976 Montreal.
And what's really funny is every Saturday I go to Bobby Clay's house. Most Saturdays, I can't say every Saturday, and we listen to American Top 40 from sometime in the 70s.
Right.
And this week it was 77, and one of the songs in the top 40 was Nadia's theme. Remember they had a little song, and it was that she actually worked out to. Larry, you remember that? Yeah.
He's smiling way too big. He knows that one. He remembers
So that
that
was
one.
cool. Yeah. I mean, she was a cute little girl, Russian. I think she was Russian or Yugoslavian. I can't remember which one.
I
she
think
was. She was one
I
of-
don't think she was Russian. I think possibly Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
But she was on the other side of the wall, if you will. She
The other
was
side.
she was part of the
Mr. Gorbachev.
well, yeah.
But different wall. But yeah. All right. And number
communist
one.
bloc.
So who do you think the number one is? Without looking at my list.
Based on every person that you've thrown out there, I'm gonna have to say your list has Jesse Owens as number one.
Jesse Owens is number one. You've heard that
I
name.
know that- I know
before.
who that
You
is.
the
I know who
name?
that
Yeah,
is.
All right, cool.
Jesse Owens, the 36 Olympics in Berlin. When you got the goose stepper walking around town talking about Aryan supremacy, and then all of a sudden you send a kid over from northern Alabama who went to Ohio State and just dominates you
Yeah.
so bad that hey, do you still think you're faster than everybody? Because that guy clearly looks like he's way better than all of everybody else.
Absolutely. So, were you here that we talk about Jack Alderman and Richard Alderman? So, this is a true story. My brother has a friend named Richard Alderman, and Richard passed away several years ago. God bless him. But his dad was Jack Alderman. Jack was in those Olympics, and during the '96 Olympics, Jack was the oldest living gold medalist.
Okay.
At that time,
Okay.
and Richard actually got to push Jack around the track at the opening ceremonies
Oh, that's
in
nice.
Atlanta.
That's
and
cool.
so that was my brother's favorite Olympic moment. So I wanted to bring that up again. My favorite Olympics, and I don't know if they were the greatest, but my favorite. Some of them are not on this list.
My number one was not on that list.
Would it be Dorothy Hamill?
no, but
Oh, she certainly was one of mine.
that little bob cut of hers became popular for decades.
And when she did the Hamill Camel, I was humping, if you know what I'm saying.
we need a commercial time.
Oh, it's time.
Chuck needs some water.
Dorothy Camel was it for me. Mary Lou Retton. Oh God, Nancy Kerrigan. I used to love
We
to
talked
watch
about
ice skating.
Carrie Strug.
Carrie Strug.
You know what a great moment when she sticks the landing in
with
Atlanta.
the broken ankle, and
Yeah.
Isabella Caroli had to carry her off.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
Do you remember? Were you born in '96? No.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Nope.
she did the
Nope.
ball with a broken ankle and landed it, and then her coach had to carry her off.
For us to win
she
the
got
gold
the gold
medal,
medal.
she had to stick the landing. So she's got to sprint on that ankle and then hit that vault and do that, and she just it's like, holy
What?
How
That's
did
crazy.
she
Yeah,
stick that?
you look it up. And then her coach came and carried her off. Iconic moment.
Oh, my
of-
God.
of the
Absolutely,
Olympics,
absolutely.
yeah.
That was the most iconic moment of the '96 Olympics, I do believe.
I would think so, yeah. So, I mean, Spitz was in mine.
Bruce Jenner wasn't on that
I was going to
list.
say Bruce Jenner's going to be in there.
Once again,
The former Bruce Jenner.
When I was 5 years old, I made my mom go buy me a little American flag so I could walk around doing that.
Yeah.
he was a bad man. He was the greatest athlete in the world in 1976.
It was decathlon, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Which typically is given to the greatest athlete. So
Yep.
crazy.
Speaking
But
of
he's
great
still not my
athletes-
number one.
So did you see the girl from Yugoslavia? I think the last couple of days broke the world high jump record.
I did. I saw that.
37-year-old record.
Yeah.
She was 2.21 meters or something like that. And
And-
she was elated.
Those legs, when you see her, she's got those long legs. It's like a gazelle
She
coming
got
in.
legs all the way up to her butt. I
But
couldn't believe it.
it's all about those strides. If one of those strides isn't that
Is it-
perfect, you can't get over that.
Yeah.
And
she
what do we
does the
call that jump?
Fosbury flop.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Name for Dick.
Yeah. A friend
Yeah.
of mine in high school did the Fosbury flop. Brett Ropp.
Still one of the greatest videos you could ever see is before Dick Fosbury invented the high jump going over backwards. Everybody else used to just go and you can pull up YouTube videos of people doing it. It's like, what's the highest record? Well, it's this because people are
Well, Johnny Carson did it one night on his show. Did you ever
I
see
did
that?
not see that.
Well, he just threw his left side over and flipped over like that. It was kind of funny. But yeah, Fosbury flop was something else. Yeah, Olympics are so cool. Obviously, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Daniel Hall. Do you know who Daniel is? Daniel went to Kennesaw State, spent 2 years there, and he's probably going to win the gold in the hammer throw.
shit.
this year.
Second straight Olympics.
Second straight. Yep. He's on Facebook now. He just got on.
I was going to say, I
Did you
just got.
friend him?
I sent a friend request. I think he's kind of busy right now, so I'm going to let him slide. But I think when you send somebody a friend request, you start getting their feed. Well, he sent something out about an hour ago.
And you
that
got
said,
it?
If you would like to support me and all of the things that I'm doing, here's some shirts. So it has all the, HA 2024 and everything. So definitely getting one of those shirts.
And he promised us when he wins a gold medal. He was on this show 2 months ago. Great guy. Went to his private practice the next day and watched him throw the hammer.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And he won the, what do you call them? The,
Qualifiers?
well, not the qualifiers, the trials.
The
he won
trials,
the gold
okay.
medal at the Olympic trials in
Oh,
Oregon.
wow.
I think 2 weeks ago. And so when he gets back, he left a couple of days ago. I read on his Facebook page. He left a couple of days ago, and he's now in Paris. And but not in the car.
We in the car.
No.
We in the car.
But so we hope he wins the gold. We believe he's going to win the
that'd be
gold.
awesome.
We can't wait for him to be on the show. How cool would it be to have him for the 100th show, and with the gold medal?
That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
All right, that's a goal. Let's make that a goal. I'll have to call Kel McDaniel, the head coach of the KSU track team, and see if we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. That just hit me. That would be awesome. So, so the Olympics start the 28th, so we've got only one more show.
And I'll be gone.
It's the 17th.
So by the time I get back, we'll be knee deep.
We'll be right in the middle of the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where are you going?
Taking a cruise, Puerto Rico and St. Thomas, and bunch of sunny places.
Are you going to St. John's?
I'm not. I think this cruise, it's a week long, but I think it only stops 3 times. I personally don't understand a 7 day. I think it should at least stop 4 times.
Well,
but
if you get to St. Thomas,
I will be in St. Thomas.
but you can take a small boat over to St. John's.
Was that like a drug smuggling
No,
boat?
no. We went over. But the coolest thing in St. John's, they have an underwater snorkeling trail, or they did in 1986, with signs that tells you where to go next.
Oh, that's cool.
To look at this and look at that.
That's
It's a
very
really,
cool.
really cool place. I
terrifying,
went to
though.
my honeymoon in St. Thomas. Charlotte Amalia, we stayed at, oh God, I think you can't name me the place, hotel we stayed at. But pretty cool little town, Charlotte Amalia. You'll enjoy that. But we can't wait to get a report. Speaking of Olympic reports, our friend Mark Ward is over in Paris right now. He sent me a few photos of pretty much the same ones I saw from the lady on the plane when I was coming back from Philadelphia. The Olympic rings on the Eiffel Tower. Really, really cool night shot of the rings up on the tower. So we're very, very close to the Olympics. I'm excited.
I am too.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about who actually is the greatest
Olympic athlete.
Olympian of all time. And I went American, I know Pavel
Of course,
Nurmi
yeah.
and
Here we
all
go.
that other stuff, But my greatest Olympian was born in 1940, premature, weighed 4.5 pounds in Alabama. When you're born as a black child in Alabama, premature in 1940.
Like
there's
Steve Martin?
No, this isn't the jerk. This isn't the jerk. But it's hard, because you're not getting state-of-the-art health care.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything that's worth something. After being born premature, she was stricken with.
I know who it is.
There we go. Give me the name. I want to hear it.
Simone Biles.
No,
1940?
1940.
I thought you said
I think
19.
it's the headphones over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's that
Yeah,
headphones.
it can't be Simone, but she is a Bama girl. So
So, she, as a young child, she contracted scarlet fever and polio. She was forced to wear
Simone Biles, an idiot.
Forrest Gump braces on her legs until the age of 12. And her mom had to take her on bus rides to Nashville so that she could get work done constantly. Her family had to do like massages constantly just to keep and here it is, 8 years after she takes the Forrest Gump things off. She is the real life Forrest Gump. She goes to the Olympics in '56 in Melbourne, and she's part of the 4x100 bronze medal team, but then comes back 4 years later, wins the gold in the 100, wins the gold in the 200, wins the gold in the 4x100, Wilma Rudolph.
Wilma Rudolph. Yeah.
Wilma Rudolph. Bar none. You think about everything stacked against you. She's like the Gerald Ford of the Olympics.
That's really cool. Yeah, and forgive me for mentioning Simone Biles, but she's in my top 10 too. Simone's a great athlete.
There's a lot of great
Yeah.
gymnasts. There really are.
All right, cool. Wilma Rudolph, hats off to your family. That's fantastic. Let's move on to our brain train commercial.
Let me just. Since
you
I
got
did,
something else?
Just because I did it earlier, I want to throw it one more time. She's got some cool nicknames.
Wilma,
Wilma, the Black Gazelle,
Mrs.
the
Flintstone.
Tornado, the Black Pearl, the Flash, and just period, the Track Star.
That's awesome.
Cool nicknames.
So Dirty
cool
and the
ones.
Track Star are two things I learned today. I like
There
that.
you go.
Yeah. All right, brain train. Let's do it.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations? Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full potential and change your life entirely through neurofeedback? A drug-free and natural approach to negative moods, and it's backed by more than 50 years of research, so it's not new. It is safe for both children and adults as you retrain the brain to create new pathways. Medication may help short-term, but they don't address the underlying issues. Just as push-ups help your physical strength, neurofeedback is personal training for your brain. With over 20 offices nationwide, don't hesitate to reach out to Brain Train Centers, as we will provide you with the highest level of compassionate care and help you achieve the mental clarity, performance, and calm you deserve. Your journey to a better quality of life starts with a brain map. Now you can retrain your brain and reset your life. So just call or text 470-291-2778 or visit braintraincentersinc.com.
The Owls. I'm not the Owls who love sports, but also three guys who love sports right here.
They sponsor it all, and we appreciate
They
every
do
bit
all.
of it.
We absolutely do. Appreciate everybody that's a sponsor of this show. We've been continuing doing it for 2.5 years.
And we even appreciate our former sponsors.
Absolutely.
Who brought us to this point.
Absolutely.
Even though they've left us, and, we'll
Blair
remember you. We'll
Blair
send.
Cook at the Express Company that I just still drive for. He's a great guy.
And then what's the guy who does all the video stuff?
David McDonough.
David McDonough.
David, they started with those guys. So
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool. All right, we're going to move on to probably my favorite subject in the world, which is college football and
Really?
the SEC Media Days, which I think the funniest thing that happened at Media Days this week is Nick Saban could not get in because he didn't have his credentials. And they sent him to the press room to get his credentials so he could get in. The people checking him in didn't know who he was. So I thought that was pretty funny.
I went to Cracker Barrel with my dad yesterday, and he ordered a beer. I didn't even know you could drink beer at
now
Cracker
you
Barrel.
can, yeah.
But the guy looked at me and goes, "I'm really sorry, but I got to see your ID." My dad's like, "I am 84 years old. I can
You
only
think you
imagine
gotta
Nick
see my ID?
Saban, the guy who denied Nick Saban entry."
I'm Nick Saban.
I kind of recognize you, but you got to have a pass around your neck.
That is so funny. The other funny thing, Jay Brimberry posted something today on Facebook about the new EA Sports game.
Oh, I play it.
Do you
It's in
play
the
it?
Oh, I
game.
bought it.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, it's
Cool.
awesome.
So
I
you've
love
already
that
got
game.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't think it came out until the 19th. But
Yeah, I pre-ordered it, so I got the early access.
oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, it's
cool.
awesome.
So what's really funny is Jay Brimberry said, "Yeah, I went in to play under Legend or whatever it is, and played as Georgia, but I spent 2 hours bailing people out of jail, so I gave up and went to another team." Which I loved. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
No, the games that they have now are just, whether it be Tiger Woods Golf or Madden or, EA College, they're all just so fantastic with their graphics.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
it's amazing.
Awesome.
I don't play all the time, but when I do, I'm amazed.
So have you played as Kennesaw State yet?
No, I have not, but they are the worst team in
That is correct.
NCAA. I have seen them.
Have you seen the KSU Championship Challenge?
I have not.
No.
So the KSU Championship Challenge, tag Kennesaw and submit the following: a video showing the Owls hosting the CFP Trophy. a screenshot of your season and playoff results and your reaction to seeing the Owls win. And when you do, the winner receives KSU, EA Sports branded apparel, blah, 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 blah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, very cool. So, anybody who's got the game, take on the Owls right now, pull an all-nighter. You can send that thing
It's
in before
tough, though. It's tough, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my God. I picked Hawaii as my team instead of Kennesaw State, and I think I am 2-8. Like, it's hard to play the game.
And you're a very good player, but when
I
you're
would
going
assume
against
so.
Michigan or Ohio State,
it's tough. It's tough.
So next time we have you on, we want you to report back as how well you did as Kennesaw State.
Oh yeah, I'm to win some free stuff. Of course, I'm going to take Kennesaw State. Why not?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And we had a couple of the linemen on, and I never did get to text them. Robert sent me their information, and I'll text them sometime this week. Say, hey, what do you think about your score that you've been given?
Oh, the overalls
on the game
Oh, yeah.
and the sport.
Well, we had him on the show last year, right after they announced that the Owls would be in the show, and so it became our question: what do you think your rating should be?
Oh, that's a good question.
I like to manhandle people. I'm pretty, but I'm an 85.
I'm big. I'm strong.
I would like to be at least a 72, and then I'd like to prove to them I'm better than that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, very cool. Very, very cool.
It's funny stuff. So, yeah, very happy about that. And actually, Rick Limpert is going to be on our 7 o'clock show. And Rick has an advanced copy of the game, too. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about KSU's function. But
Rick's going to be slumming with us, huh?
Yeah, Rick's slumming with us. Rick is one of our favorite fans and favorite guests. Might have to have him co-host next week.
I saw a picture of him right before, sometime this afternoon. It was him and
He's always with somebody.
What's the all-time beach volleyball champion, Senjin Smith or whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I thought it was Karch Karai.
I think it's Karch's partner back
is
in the
it?
day.
Yeah.
But here it's Rick.
Rick's with everybody.
Yeah, Rick's with everybody.
So looking forward to seeing Rick at 7. It'll be great to see him. But yeah, getting back to the college football, SEC Media Days, I did learn today, which I didn't know last night or this morning, that all the problems that Georgia have been having with their kids driving fast and getting DUIs. No, this is something I didn't know.
Okay.
But
all right.
now they are taking back NIL money from these guys.
They should.
Absolutely.
The collective is taking money back from these guys if they get in trouble, which I think is a great idea.
Well,
but I didn't know they could do that.
Well, yeah, and there should be, whenever you sign a contract, whether you're going to work for somebody or anything else, you're supposed to at least maintain this level of
Decorum.
decorum. Thank you.
You like that word?
I do.
That's a good one.
So yeah,
All sorts of good words being used over here. I'm gonna try to come up with one in the next 23 minutes.
So I like it. I like the fact that they're doing that. I mean, I don't think it's now 24. Is that what I saw in the last 2 years, or more than that Georgia's been taking kids to jail or having kids go to jail I did listen to, I think it was Buck Bellew interviewed Carson Beck, and he said absolutely and super excited about 20 times in his 5-minute interview. I'm like, oh, what do you think about the wide receiver? Oh, super excited. They're absolutely the best. What do you think about the offensive line? Oh, super excited. They're absolutely the best. I said, come on, dude.
Right,
Get a life.
but when you think about how many dumb things I say on a regular basis, and I'm only in front of a microphone for an hour a week, and then 2 hours a week, you think about somebody who's he wants to be drafted. He'd like to be a first-round draft pick. He'd like, you got to keep it kind of mellow, because if you start going off script a little bit, well, I was thinking our offensive line should, get a little angrier because they're not mean enough. Nobody wants to hear that.
No. They talked a lot about how important depth is going to be this year because you go into a 16-game schedule, basically, if you're in the playoffs and going to the national championship. And that's true. And I've had a couple of people say that Georgia's probably the deepest team, as long as they can keep them from driving
Them
cars
and Ohio
and getting
State,
hurt.
I would say.
Yeah, Ohio State, too, probably. So, again, we talked last week, or was it last week, that this could be the year that you play the same team 3 times. Because Texas and Georgia play in the regular season, and then they also could play in the SEC championship, and they could play in the playoffs.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's hard. It's hard to beat a team twice. Can't imagine 3 times.
yeah. So
I think if Saban was still here, there'd be a chance
Oh yeah.
for that third game.
yeah, but you don't see it happening now.
I don't- I really don't.
I think it's a really low chance.
It is.
of
It is
happening.
because you got 4 teams that have buys, and then it all depends on how they create that bracket. And we talked about it a little bit last week. Same thing with March Madness. They put Duke on this side. They put
North Carolina
on
on the
this
other
side.
side.
So they're going to do that with a lot, to make sure that there's no SEC rematches
Yeah.
until you get to the semifinals or
or
to
the finals.
Correct.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that being said, talking about Carson Beck, he is now, I think, the second favorite to win the Heisman. I think Gabriel with Oregon is now the number 1 favorite to win the thing. And he started at UFC, right? UCF.
UCF.
And then he went to Oklahoma, and now he's at Oregon. And Carson Beck's number 2. But who's the best quarterback in the SEC? I mean, I know Liechtenstein Larry's going like, Carson Beck. Carson Beck with that big old smile.
But we talked
But there
about
are others.
we there are, and we talked about it a little bit. What makes the best quarterback? Is it the guy who looks best in his underwear on camp? What is that?
Or in his
compound day?
Lambo.
But at the end of the day, you got to have a lot of weapons to be good. And he's got a lot of weapons. So if you're looking at this quarterback might be better. But man, his wide receivers and running back kind of stink. His offensive line's a little shaky. He's never going to be able to prove how good he is at this level.
Well, there are 3 others, I think, in the SEC other than Carson Beck that need to be considered. Jason Milroe, obviously, at Alabama. Nussmeier from LSU. And Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. I think they're all top-level quarterbacks.
Oh, wow. You're forgetting one. I feel like Quinn Ewers is up there.
Oh, that's right. I keep
Absolutely.
forgetting
Just
he's
went
with
to,
Texas.
just went to the
Yeah,
SEC.
yeah.
He just moved to the SEC. I think he's up there for the Heisman ranking. He's awesome.
He is.
Texas,
He's top 5
oh,
before
yeah.
the season starts.
And I think Texas pre-ranked is 3, and I think he's an awesome quarterback.
Yeah, I
He's
do
got
too.
wheels. He's got wheels on him.
And I wish Adam was here so he could pronounce this guy's name, but the guy for Tennessee, Nico Amalawiaba.
Oh, yeah, him.
That guy did not play until the bowl game and won the Orange Bowl, won MVP at the Orange Bowl. And so, once again, you got to have all that skill position talent around you. But I'm with you. Yours is incredible.
And they were doing a lot of talking about Oklahoma and Texas coming in now and how different their schedule's going to be because of the strength of the SEC from top to bottom, which I don't believe
It's gonna be
is that
ridiculous.
strong. You still got Vandy, still got Mississippi State, still got South Carolina. I mean, there's still weaklings in the SEC, just like there is in any conference.
It's not like the Big 12 though.
We'll disagree on that. Yeah, yeah.
We do every year, but then we never have a follow cap at the end of the season. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That probably so, but we'll do that. We'll do that this year, and we'll see who's got the worst of the worst, and the best of the best. Hey, Rick.
Another thing, talking about the Heisman frontrunner, the guy for Oregon, and I know I'm making too big of a deal out of
Dylan
this.
Gabriel. Yeah.
But he's only got like one game that's only a 3-hour flight. Everything else the guy has to do is a 5-hour flight.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to take its toll on Washington and Oregon and UCLA and USC over the,
Stanford.
we got to go out to Rutgers. And then you come home because you're not going to spend 2 weeks out on the right coast. And then now we got to go back to Penn State. And, it's going to be a lot.
And
A lot for
Stanford
those
in the
guys.
ACC, too. They're on the same boat.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They talk about Texas has I think their toughest game other than Georgia is Auburn, at Auburn, which they open up at, I think. But other than that, they play the Mississippi States and the Vanderbilts and the South Carolinas and the Floridas. And, nobody's talking about Florida anymore. Travis Etienne, was it Travis Etienne that left
Etienne.
there?
Yeah, it was Georgia, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
he
but
came here.
But what's the ATN that's in the pros that went to Clemson?
That's Travis.
Yeah, his brother's name is what?
Trevor.
Trevor Etienne. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, thank you. Oklahoma might has a shot. Texas might have a shot just because they've got a weaker schedule.
They
and
do,
they play Georgia in Austin.
And I know what you're saying, and
awesome.
I don't mean to underestimate what you're saying about the weakest teams. Whenever you're talking about the weakest teams in any conference, there's a reason why they're getting picked on by everybody else. But week in and week out, when you try to compare a Big 12 schedule to them having to go to Columbia and them having to go here, it's gonna catch them. Let alone going to Auburn, they don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
Except for Texas A&M or Oklahoma, those would be the only 2 games where you go, okay, that's a rough one. Going to Auburn's tough.
Oklahoma State was good. Baylor was pretty good. They had some
they're
good teams.
decent teams,
yeah.
but they're more offensively. We can put 40 up on you.
But we can't stop you.
We're gonna beat you like a dog and make sure that you don't score more than 12 points, which is what they're getting ready to walk into.
Yeah.
I believe.
All right. So, do you have a pick for the SEC? Because I've found it very odd that Nick Saban picked Texas and Georgia to play for the SEC championship. I said, dude, there's some unhappy people in Alabama right now.
For sure. I mean, obviously you want him to pick Alabama, but new coach coming in, all those people leaving, all those people coming in. Who knows what Alabama's going to be this year? It's going to be crazy.
I think DeBoer is better than people think he is. I think Alabama's. I think they're still loaded.
He is getting to Alabama with more talent too, and I think that's definitely going to help him because he did that with Washington, and Washington is to Alabama is night and day.
And
Sure.
Nick said the weakness of Alabama is going to be in the back of the defensive side of the ball
And why is that?
because everybody left.
No, because Saban was the secondary coach.
Oh yeah, there you go.
They're gonna miss that,
too,
awesome
yeah.
coach.
All right. Well, let's get into our last commercial, and we'll get into some NFL football. I'm so excited. Football is here.
And so close.
Yeah.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable workouting ever, or just wanting to take something else off your bucket list, American Access and their 3 Atlanta locations in Marietta, Tucker, and downtown at The Works are waiting for you. Each and every location is conveniently and not coincidentally located next to a brewery. Look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And we thank you, Dan Fisher, for being the sponsor of the 3 Guys Who Love Sports right here at Miller's Ale House every Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock. Again, my name's Chuck Burge with my co-host Robert Kenny, Larry Lichtenstein, the engineer, and Jake Schramm, our guest of the day. So, the Falcons and the Dolphins kick off the preseason on August the 9th, I think, is their first game. So it is here. Training camp actually opened for the Houston Texans today. So by this time next week, all 31 other teams will be at camp. So it is time to smell the football, baby. It is awesome.
Boy, I tell you, the rest of the league's missing out if they're letting the Strouds, as ATI likes to call it, practice a little bit longer than them. That's a talented team down in Houston.
It's very
They'll be
good.
Better, yeah. And so each week for the next 8 weeks, we're going to talk about a different division of the NFL. We typically go northeast, west, south, AFC, and then northeast, west, south of the NFC, so we can end up with the Falcons. We'll switch it up a little bit next week.
I'm a whiner.
Because Robert's going to be gone,
I'm a whiner.
and he wants to be here to talk about his Bills. So we're going to do north, west, east, south for the NFC, and we'll go from
That's
there.
good because everybody knows they're taking the Chiefs in the West.
Yeah, so you're not going to miss anything.
No.
Yeah.
Who's taking the Chiefs?
Cheers.
Yeah.
Easy.
So,
done.
Do you like
Next.
Captain Khaki? No, I still don't like him.
Yeah, Ryan, our buddy down at the end of the bar, he's a big – Ryan left. He's a big Captain Khaki fan. So,
Hey,
he was up here talking about
I
him
don't
before
like
the
the
show.
dude, but the dude knows what to do, and he's really good at it. Everybody was talking about going into that draft. Boy, this is what they should do. No, he knew
all
what
right,
to
so
do.
we got the Ravens, probably the odds-on favorite to win this year. I don't think
Absolutely.
they're overwhelming favorite, but you know what? They only had a 3-3 record in the division last year. They won the division because they had the best overall record, but they got swept by the Steelers, and they were only 3-3. So they're not worth the best team in the division in terms of division record, but they did win the division. They now have old man Henry up there running the rock, and
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
A
But
beast.
as Robert said earlier, he's the same guy as who was it you said that couldn't win in the playoffs?
Who, Lamar?
Yeah. Was it you, Larry, that we talked about? Said Lamar's just like so-and-so. He can't win in the playoffs. I can't remember
Prescott?
who it was. Jack Prescott, that's who it was, yeah. They can't.
Let me just throw a name out.
It was Ryan. No, it was Ryan. That's who it was. We said he can't win in the playoffs.
He's terrible at the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm not a Cowboys fan at all.
And just for the record, since you brought it up, I looked it up. Baltimore is the third favorite for the Super Bowl this year.
oh, are
yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Third highest favorite?
Chiefs, Niners, Ravens is
Yeah.
what Vegas has right now.
That's awesome.
But they lost. The Ravens lost 5 starters, a couple on the offensive line. So whoever it is going to have to block for King Henry and protect Lamar.
I'm interested to see that offense, with Derrick Henry coming in there. Like, how is that gonna, take away from Lamar's legs ability? Is he gonna just be hanging the ball off now, or is he just gonna have to, scramble on his own?
I don't think they can take it. I don't think they can take everything away from him.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. He's kind of the heart and soul of the team. And they're a good ball club. I don't see him as the third best team in the league. Of
If
course,
he's upright, they're good.
Yeah.
Lamar, yeah. But KC went in there and beat them in Baltimore to go to the AFC Championship, right? Or to go to the Super Bowl, right? They beat
Yeah.
them in the AFC Championship. So we got the Ravens. We got the Bengals, who were 1-5, 0-3 with Joe Burrow, and 1-2 without Joe Burrow. They have a problem. Joe Mixon's now with the Fighting Strouds. So who's going to tote the rock for the Bengals?
They added Zach Moss. So
Zach
they're
Moss.
looking at Zach Moss, and they also added the tight end Mike Gesicki. So those are their two.
Big acquiring. So
A third
Gesicki
string
was-
running back and
Southern Ohio is going crazy with those two picks, boy.
So Gesicki was with the Dolphins 2 years ago. Last year he was with the Patriots, wasn't he?
I think you're right.
I think he got traded to Patriots, and now I didn't know he was now with the Bengals. So is Joe Burrow back? Ryan said this to me before the show. Guy in the audience said that Joe Burrow will be the difference, and the Bengals will win that division. I don't see it.
No, there's no doubt about it. You got to have a healthy Joe Burrow. There's certain teams, and we're getting ready to come to one here in a second, but there's one team last year that had 4 different quarterbacks win a game. It wasn't the Bengals. The Bengals have to have Joe Burrow standing upright.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if they can protect him enough.
Don't know if they
their
can
line's
protect him.
been
Don't know if they
suspect.
can run the ball. I mean, I don't think Zach Moss is the answer.
No.
to tote the
He
rock.
didn't answer any of Buffalo's prayers
No.
or any of Indianapolis's prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the Burrow. The other team is the Browns. The Browns were 3-3 last year in the division, and but who brought them back to the playoffs? Who was the quarterback that brought them to the playoffs?
They had 4 different quarterbacks win games last year.
Joe Flacco.
Flacco.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Flacco took them to the playoffs.
When you look at this, I'll say this for this division and for a lot of football, but this is the best roster in this division.
Cleveland. Absolutely. Nick
Clearly, the only problem is
he
that
healthy?
they don't have the number one position that you got to have.
It's Deshaun Watson or Joe Flacco right now.
I know. I think they've already moved on from Flacco. I don't even think Flacco's part of this equation. I think he's long gone.
Oh, really? I think he's still on the time.
Well, we'll check my little thing over here and then check
I don't
the
want to
depth
check
chart.
your little thing, but let me know
Ain't
how
nothing
the
little
depth
to
chart
check
is.
over here. Right now for Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, followed by Jameis Winston,
Oh, they're in trouble.
followed by Tyler Huntley, followed by.
So Flacco's gone?
Flacco's gone. Flacco's
Wow.
back.
I missed that.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But man, what a roster! If that team could get
A
not
quarterback.
not even a great quarterback, not even like a Kirk
serviceable
Cousins,
quarterback.
not even a Kirk Cousins top 8 in the league quarterback. Just give me somebody just behind that who's not a bumbling idiot. Man, I think that team could be special, but they don't have him right now.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't have him.
Again, he's got to be upright, just like Lamar Jackson. For the Browns to have a chance, they've got to have somebody that can carry and fling the rock. I think Nick Chubb can carry it. Let's see if they can get anybody to fling it. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers were 5-1. They swept the Bengals. They swept the Ravens last year, and they split with the Browns. So now they have 2 quarterbacks. They have Russell Wilson, and they got Justin Fields. Who is going to got to be Russell, right? Russell's the starter.
Absolutely.
Russell is definitely your starter as of right now, unless something crazy happens preseason and in camp. But I'm going to revert back to the old ball coach, old Steve Spurrier, one of the greatest one-liners in the world.
Amen.
When you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none.
There you go.
It's the way it works.
It makes so much sense. That's genius.
It is genius. It's succinct. Oh, there we go. I brought a good word into the whole.
It's what?
Succinct.
I like that.
I like that.
It's very succinct.
You know, but you know, as soon as you start game one, there's already 40% of their people going, they should have the other guy in
Yeah.
there. They should have the other guy. And so it's nonstop. And when somebody has a bad drive or a bad half, you know, those whispers are always going. Now, Tomlin seems like he doesn't care what anybody thinks about anything. So maybe he's the perfect coach to have two quarterbacks, but still very difficult.
And, you know, Tomlin's never had a losing season at Pittsburgh.
Never.
Incredible coach. I think he's there as long as he wants to be there. And I think they'll have a decent year. I hope they do. I don't know who I'm going to pick to win this division. I've got 5 minutes to decide, but Larry, we need to start tracking who we're picking. Well, I guess we got it on tape. So it's time to make some picks. And where's our axe? My American Axe. We did the American Axe commercial, and I don't have the American Axe.
Well, usually you only give the axe to the thing. Here, I tell you what.
What do you mean to the thing?
Well, when we do picks, you give the axe to the
Well, we're
batters.
getting ready to pick.
Well, give me the axe because I'm going to axe all of your picks as you say them. It's real simple.
No.
Well, I think we should start at the bottom and move up.
Sorry, the bottom of
Last place in the AFC North, I am going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Agreed.
Wow. I'm going to say last place in the AFC North, the Cincinnati Bengals.
You know, once again, if Burrow's not upright, there's a lot of problem. Burrow has to be healthy.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
you know what he's doing to strengthen his wrist? Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
He's taking piano lessons.
Whatever
Genius.
works.
That's
It-
genius.
It is. You know, I was talking with somebody a couple weeks ago, and they had never heard the story about Lynn Swan taking ballet lessons in the late
Absolutely.
70s.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
but,
about that.
But, you know, when you see those great, you know, nobody was doing that until he's like, oh, that's how you do it. You know, it's just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
All right, so you guys are both Steelers,
Going Steelers, last
definitely
place.
Steelers.
and I got the Bengals in last place. Third place,
I'm going to go with the Bungles.
Bungles in third. Okay. Jake,
I'm gonna go Browns.
Browns in third. You know, I think the Browns are the most talented team in the league, or in the division, as Robert said.
But they don't have that position.
Yeah. I almost hate to take the Steelers in third, but I'm going to take the Steelers as the third place. Yeah. All right, second place,
I'm going to go with the Browns.
I'm going to go with the Ravens.
And just know that I don't believe they can repeat what they did last year. I don't think four quarterbacks can win different games
Absolutely
in the
not.
NFL. So, you know, this is one of those things that you better figure out. And who knows? Maybe they make a swap. You know, they've been known to trade with Pittsburgh. Maybe Pittsburgh lets them have one of those quarterbacks.
Justin or Russell. Yeah. So second place for you, Jake.
Got to go Bengals.
You gotta go Bengals. All
Who
right.
knows if Piano's going to help out Joe Burrow enough? I don't think Piano's going to help him out that much.
As long as he's not doing chopsticks.
So obviously you guys both have the Ravens winning division.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go with the Browns. I think they've just got too much talent. If Watkins can be upright, and he's got as much a chance of being upright as Joe Burrow does, and I think they're talented enough on offense to score points, and I am going to go out and pick the Browns to win the AFC North.
And I know Liechtenstein Larry's going to get a lot of hate mail about this one, but I just want to say that I believe the best quarterback on the Browns is Jameis Winston. And I think we've seen the last highlight reel of Deshaun. You know, Deshaun, he doesn't appear like he can run like he used to, and half of his game was predicated. Bam! 2 good words late in the show.
Let's go.
Predicated.
And,
Wow.
And you know, but you know, I'm able to throw because you're worried about me running. And if you can't run, well, then I'm no longer worried about you throwing. And you know, Jameis has never been shy with throwing it up.
No, absolutely
After
not.
what he did last year going against the coach by scoring, I will say this about Jameis Winston. If he was the only quarterback on the team, he still wouldn't be the best.
Well, and you know, it goes to show you how bad the Browns are.
Absolutely.
To bring him in, I had forgotten all about that on the last play of the game. You know, where oh, this guy gets a bonus, and we'll just run this play anyway. You know, that's a rough one. I'd like to have been at the meeting where they're like, so would you do that again in our team? You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's probably still the number one at that team.
No. So yeah, I will go with that. It's It's football season, and this is what makes football, in my opinion, the greatest sport ever. So much controversy, so much consternation. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Another word. But,
We're going today.
But everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and it's what makes it great. Hey, Lon, is the different opinions about football, and there's so many different teams and so many different divisions, and I look forward to getting into it more every week over the next 8 weeks before the season starts on September 5th with somebody playing at Kansas City Chiefs. Who is it? Is it Baltimore? Who's the opening game?
I think it is Baltimore.
Yeah.
It's not a rematch.
Yeah.
They usually do Super Bowl rematches, but it's not. And let me just
Last
say,
year was Detroit at Kansas City.
let me just say that week 1, Ravens at Chiefs.
Ravens
wow.
at Chiefs.
What a
And
game.
then-
We already got a line on that. If anybody's looking to gamble, you
Yeah.
know, Vegas doesn't want you to
And
keep
then
What
your
is the
money.
line? What is the line?
2.5.
And then the
Who?
next night,
KC?
Home team.
KC, yeah. And then the next night in Rio de Janeiro, the Packers and
The
Eagles
name
play.
is real.
Why are they playing in Rio?
Because there's 4
Spanning
bazillion
the
people
world.
who love sports down there.
But I heard
they don't know
that
that
they
one.
can't wear green at the games. You guys hear about this?
Yeah.
Because the gangs.
Both
or
of
whatever.
them are green, yeah.
They can't wear greens there because of the gangs. But
We'll see.
two green teams are
but
going.
Their national team wears green, so that seems kind of odd. But
Spanning the globe. That's what they're doing.
I don't know. You know, I said this when Jackson came out. I didn't believe that he could stay upright and not get injured like RG3, like Vic, and like all of his predecessors who want to, you know, do a little shake and bake. I'm rooting for him, but man, that team goes downhill real quick.
Yeah.
Without
You know,
question.
I mean, you know, that could be the last place team if he gets injured.
Absolutely.
In this division.
All right, so we've run a little over time, but it was a great show. Jake,
Yeah, thank you
thanks
guys
for
having
coming
me. It was
on,
a
man.
great time. It was a great time. Thank you
Robert,
guys.
as always.
As always.
Hey, guys, don't forget, know your numbers out there. Get your prostate checked. Cover your ass. We'll see you next week right here on Three Guys Who Love Sports.